and I'm going to go ahead and run the interview that I did with Carole Lyles Shaw. She is absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to let her share with you all that she's got going on in her world. So take a look at this. Hey, everybody, I'm very excited about our guest today. It's Carole Lyles Shaw. She's got some great things that she's going to share with us that are going to inspire you. I know that you're going to really enjoy what she has to share. So, Carole, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Ricky, and hello, everyone.
Yeah. So, Carole, tell us a little bit about yourself, about your work for those that don't know you.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland, and that is where I learned to quilt with the wonderful quilters of the African American Quilters of Baltimore. And they're a guild, they're still active, and every year they do a show. So check them out. I was a bit self taught before then, but they took me under their loving arms and taught me all the fundamentals of making quilts. They are expert quilters.
That's
So
wonderful.
I learned. Yeah.
Because I'm a little familiar with your work now. What was your work like then? Was it a shoe fly, double wedding ring? What were you doing at the first?
Well, at first I was doing basic blocks like log cabin blocks, which I love. Roman coins,
Right,
simple blocks, 4 patch, 9 patch, just to learn the basics. But I pretty quickly got bored with that. And I was starting to experiment in the art quilt world, as I discovered.
right,
But along the way, I really didn't have good skills. And it wasn't till I joined that guild that I learned really how to sew.
right. Yeah, it's amazing. That's kind of, I have a similar story. When you have that kind of family, that community, you learn so much. I mean, even if you're not taking official classes, just being in the group, you learn so
Yeah.
much from the things that they share. And I experienced that same thing as well. And I have no doubt that you're like me. Once you were hooked, and you're still hooked.
Yes, 30 plus years and counting. And every day I wake up thinking, okay, what do I want to know today?
So you're on episode number 3203 of the Quilt Show, and I encourage people to go take a look at your show. But today we want to talk a little bit about something that you're doing personal. It's a bit of a personal journey. Would you tell us about
Yeah,
this?
sure. I am doing what's called the 100-day project, and it starts later this month. And the intent behind the 100-day project is that for 100 days, every day, every single day, you will do some activity related to an overall project design. You figure out in general what you want to do, what materials, etc., the size of anything you're going to make on any particular day. But your commitment is every day for 100 days, you do something. Spend 15 minutes, spend 30 minutes, whatever you decide to do. And I've done shorter time frame projects, but I've never done 100 days. And I have decided on the fabric I'll use. It's going to be a hand sewing project. So
Wow.
it'll be portable, and that's really different for me because I
Uh,
don't do much hand sewing.
okay, now you're bringing all kinds of questions to my mind.
Or
You're doing this on your own, kind of by yourself. It's your own thing. And
yes,
artists in all kind of medias do this sort of thing. Like a photographer could do their thing or whatever,
yes,
100 days. And
absolutely. It started in the art world, and now a lot of textile artists and quilters, modern and traditional, will pick this up as well. It's, for one thing, it's a way of exploring even a design idea or working with color palettes that you don't typically work with. And you can decide whatever you want it to be and explore it.
so in your case, are you already in your mind thinking that it's an arching overall project, or is it a series of little things that are separate? Where's your vision for your 100 days?
I'm envisioning it as 100 separate little things that once I'm done, then I'll decide if I want to combine them into one or more larger projects. But I'm not putting that intention on myself. I just want to pick up my needles, pick up the fabrics that I've set aside, and work on one completed, very small piece, probably around between 5 and 6 inches square is probably the size I'll work with.
Okay. Now, do you have any accountability? Anybody that's going to be lighting a fire under you?
Well, other than posting it on my Instagram feed, so
Okay.
people will be like, okay, Carol, where is it? And I blogged about it. There is a community that you can join. There's, a website. There's, I think, a Facebook group uh, that you can join as well. So you can get support and, feedback from people,
What
just
what is
encouragement.
what is the website? Can you tell us?
Sure, it's the 100dayproject.org, O-R-G.
Okay, and is 100 100 or is it all
Yes,
spelled out? Okay. All right.
it's the numbers, the 100dayproject.org. And it's also on Instagram. And there it's do the 100-day project.
Okay. All right, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So, all right, another question is what happens if the water heater goes out or you have to take your car? And it's just one of those days where nothing is going right. Um, do you still try to figure out a way to do something, or you just go, look, it's just I have to give myself some leeway and not beat myself up if I can't make it happen? What's your goal there?
Well, that's a great question, Ricky. And certainly you can give yourself permission to drop out a day. But my intention is no matter what's happening, I will be able to pick up a few pieces of fabric and make this hand sewn collage essentially.
Okay.
So I will prep my backgrounds. I'll do some basic cutting, of the fabrics just so I can easily pick something up, even if it's at 11:30 p.m.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Well,
I
handwork,
can
that's the
go,
beautiful thing. I don't do a lot of handwork. I have, and I know great that I've learned. But handwork is one of those things you can travel with. So if suddenly you got the brakes
yeah.
going out on your car, put it in your bag and go sit in the waiting room and you're going to get it done one way or the other. That's
Oh, that's a
awesome.
good idea. I think I
Yeah.
will put a little bag of prep in the car just in
Yeah,
case.
that just in case. Well, I think that's awesome. So, what's on your design wall? Let's talk about what you're doing right now.
Well, the quilt that's on this side, this side, the blue one, is actually the completed top that I started working on during the show, where I was showing how to fracture the 9 patch blocks. So that's done and ready to go off to my long armor because it's too big for me to quilt. And the other one that you can see on the other side with the black and yellow and African fabrics, that is a Parisian curves upscale quilt top that I just finished. I start lots of quilts because when I teach, I'm sewing live. But these two I decided I liked so much that I wanted to finish them. So they are done and ready to go off to the long armor.
I think they're both wonderful and they're definitely in your spirit. I love first as a matter of fact, I have to tell everybody when we just first came on before I started recording and Carolyn was having a little Carol, not Carolyn, but Carole Lyles. Carol was got her camera on, and this smile appeared, and it just made my day. You have the most amazing, wonderful smile, and I know that your spirit and your attitude is just jovial and wonderful. And I wish I could just come through the screen and give you a hug right now.
Yes, me too. I feel the same way. And it's so nice to connect with you, real live person. Because as you know, we missed each other during the show, and I'm just glad we have this chance to talk. I love your spirit. I love the way you just embrace people, you embrace styles,
Oh,
and
okay.
through the screen, you just bring people in and say, "Look at this. This is so wonderful." I love that.
Well, thank you, Carol. That's awesome and wonderful. This is about you. It's not about me. So I'm celebrating you today. I am so sorry that, my COVID happened and I was quarantined in Dallas in a hotel room and couldn't even be a part of the shows. It was really a sad time for me. But I'm glad to get to chat with you today and bring your spirit to the people that don't may perhaps know you. And I do encourage everybody to get on to thequiltshow.com and watch episode 3203 and consider for themselves to try giving that 100-day project. You're saying it starts near the end of February. This is February 2023 right now, and it's starting
Yes.
soon. So all
And
artists are kind of doing it at the same time. Is that right?
yes, but you can start late and end late. You don't
Okay.
have to start on the official launch day. You can have your own schedule.
That's awesome. Well, I am very, very thankful for the time to spend with you today and wishing you all the best on your creative journey and really giving you a cheerleading go, go, go on your 100 days. I hope you make it and I look forward to hearing all about it. Maybe I'll have to come back and chat with you again to see how it went.
Okay, I'd love that.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Say goodbye.
Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye, Ricky.
Bye. Carole Lyles Shaw. Oh my gosh, she was such a delight. I enjoyed visiting with her so much. And I didn't know about the 100-day project. So that's something I'm even spinning around in my mind with all the creative endeavors that I've got going on. It's like, do I want to do a piece of music a day? Do I want to do a little piece of quilt a day? Do I want to do a photo a day? I mean, it's a lot. And I'd be really interested to see if anybody else takes that journey. Going to the website, the 100dayproject.org, and checking out all the details that are there. I think it's a wonderful way to stay really connected with your spirit and your creativity. And it might be one of those things that if you're a pattern follower, maybe you could break away from patterns and just play and experiment and have some fun doing things on your own, perhaps even without measuring or creating a pattern, just sewing some fabrics together. If you do that over 100 days, just think about all the little bits that you have that you could put together. I'm all about improv. And one of the things, well, not always, but I do love improv. And one of the things that I tell my students when we're doing improv is that if I gave you 6 Legos, just 6 little pieces of Legos, and I said, make something, you would really be stifled and not be able to do very much. But if I gave you a bucket of Legos, you have kind of the endless possibilities. So if you will use your 100-day project to just create a bunch of little Legos without really even knowing how or what they're going to do, you can imagine you'll have a bucket of 100 Legos whenever it's all done, and you can put those together and find a wonderful thing to do. So that would be my encouragement to everybody. Something fun that we can all definitely do. You guys, it's in the middle of the mountains out here for me today, and I hope that you've enjoyed visiting with Carole Lyles Shaw. I know that I did, truly. She does have one of the most amazing smiles. Warms my heart just to hear her, and I'm getting comments from so many people saying they love her classes. They love watching her sew live in her classes, and that she's really, really impacted them. So if you don't know Carole, if you haven't really got to know her and her work, please do watch the episode of The Quilt Show and get to know her a little bit more. I'm going to say goodbye, wishing you all the very best. Hope your life is going well and that you'll continue doing what you do because it's always great. Cheers, everybody. Bye bye.